Hello everyone, Eileen Godwin here, back with you again. I did promise you 2 video tutorials this week and this is my second one, so I've kept my promise. Now this, as you can see, is an abstract. I'm using a stencil and also some stamps from Lavinia stamps. When I first did this card, this one, I used masking tape. In fact, it's stencil tape from Sweet Poppy Stencils to mask off that rectangle, and then I just inked very carefully using brushes, of course, and that gave me a really lovely crisp image and I was really pleased with it. And then I was going through my stencils from Clarity Stamps and I've got, da-da, one of these. And I've got another one with ovals, another one with circles, another one with squares. So you're going to be seeing a lot more of these because they're jolly useful. So I thought that would be ideal for this. It will, well, I've marked this one because that's the size that I'm after. So I won't be using stencil tape, I'm using my mask. I'll give you the number, yeah? This is a Clarity stencil and it's STEPA 00941. That's Sierra Tango Echo PA 00941, and it's from Clarity Crafts. Really useful. Where was I? Right, showing you how I created the card. Get on with it, Eileen. Yes, I have a piece of cardstock from Paper Mill Direct. I'm using ivory. You can use ivory, cream, white. All you really want to be careful of that it's got to be super smooth. And this one is. Lovely, super smooth cardstock. Put that there so I can see it. So I'm starting off with that stencil. Or is it a mask? I don't know. No, it is a stencil, isn't it? And really just going to plonk it or try to get it in sort of in the middle of the card. Doesn't have to be totally precise. So it's down, it's round about there. Yeah, that'll do. And then using masking tape, quite often I use the back of my Misty, but I'm just going to go for tape this time. Just make sure your rectangle is going to be straight. Right, that should hold okay, and of course I'm going to be using my fingers. So starting off with blue, and I'm using Elements inks. I'll show you which ones they are as I go. So Della Blue is first, okay? This is not a very inky pad, which is good. So very gently with the brush. Actually, I might swap to Lavinia brushes. They've got a domed edge, domed head, and they're so easy to use. Just holding the stencil down tightly so it doesn't move, and I'll get a nice, hopefully, crisp edge with no leakage of the ink underneath. So a little at a time with your ink. Ink in the layers rather than a whole lot in one go. So I'm just doing sort of the left-hand side, as you can see. Yep. And then moving on, changing to Lime Punch. Really lovely colour. Or was it Lemon Drop? Hold on, let me look. No, sorry, as you were, it's Lemon Drop. Lemon Drop will give me a bit of green tones, though. That's why I got confused. It doesn't take much. Now this is a much wetter pad, so I need to be careful. Just mingle it in with the blue. Going to be adding another couple of layers on this anyway, and then down. Until you're pleased with the colour that you've got. You can have the colour as intense as you like. And then finally, for the background, I'm using confetti and another stencil brush. Minding fingers again, and then coming up from the bottom, and then mingling it in with the blue and with the lemon. So it's sort of gently wafting around. Now before you take the stencil off, I'm adding another stencil, and this is from Lavinia, and this is called Flora. It's really lovely. So popping that down over, and then going back to the blue, so it's a contrast to the two colours. Very gently, just going to add a few wispy bits of blue. Just going to lift it to see what it's like. Oh yes, that'll do. I just want a shadow in the background. I think I overdid it on this one. I much prefer a gentler look in the background there. Okay, let's take the stencil off and see what I've got. Wiping fingers and some cappuccino. That's nice. Okay. Oh yeah, not bad at all. Now I need this stencil again, but I'm going to give it a quick wipe with a cloth out of shot. It's quite a, I've got a table here. So I'm wiping all of any surplus ink, both sides of the stencil, because the Elements ink will not dry on this plastic, and I'm going to move it. I want to get that rectangle there over to this side, and about an inch or two down from the top there. Make sure it's straight. I'm not bothering to take this, I'm going to wing it, but I do need another stencil brush, and this time I'm using Line Punch again. Oh, I haven't used that anyway, have I? So hold it tightly. I'm still taking ink off because it's a very new pad, and if this leaks underneath it will spoil the whole look of it. It's got to be crisp, but it's got to be bright as well. Well, for me anyway. Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. A little bit of a blue mark there, but I can get rid of that. So the stencil I'm now finished with. So it needs washing off. Soap and water will do that, no problem. Just get rid of this mark here. I'm using my Tombow Mono eraser. Just, I've got a blue line where I didn't protect enough from the ink. Still there, I can still see it. It's gone. Good. Okay, so as you were, on now to circles. I've got 2 circle masks here, and they are negatives. And I'm also going to use another Elements ink, Russet Orange. I'm just wiping this off in case there's any ink still left on this one. I'm going to pop that down there. This circle mask is from Lavinia Stamp, moon mask or circle mask, whatever. Russet Orange I'm using, and I'll also be using lemon drops again. So Russet Orange is going down first, coming down the card from the top of the rectangle, half an inch, maybe a little bit more. Yeah, it's over a centimetre anyway. But to be honest, you can pop your circle where you like. I'm coming out of the rectangle, just a little. Pop that on to protect my cardstock. And an orange brush. It's very wet, this one, so I need to be careful. A little bit at a time. Hold it tight. I'm doing another abstract card after this. I've got some new inks. Oh, they're lush. Really nice. So I'm going to make some swatches of colour and then have a play. But I need to get this done first. That's the orange, and fortunately it's a lovely shape, no leakage. Just wiping the mask off, or the stencil. Just getting rid of the majority of that orange and popping it back down, and I'm going over towards my rectangle here and down a little, like so. Come down a bit more actually. Yes. There you go. Just protect that. And then lime, no, not lime punch, lemon drop. Lemon drop. Hold it tight. And fill in the circle. Let's have a look. Yes, lovely. I've got a mark around the rim, and that's fine. It's just here where the ink has collected, and but that's fine because I'm putting a gold. In fact, actually, I quite like it as it is. If you can see that line, it's sort of a little pale brown line. It's the residue of the orange mixing with the yellow. But I'm putting gold on, or I might even leave it as it is because I quite like that. Quick wipe of the mask. All of the masks and stencils I will wash off with warm water and a little drop of soap. Washing up liquid. And now on to the stamping. Yep, it is the stamping. Watch hands. Another slurp of cappuccino, just keeps me awake. And now I'm going to look for and use my Misty. There it is. I use a stamp press for stamping. Mainly, I really do. Makes life so much easier, doesn't it? So we're doing okay so far. So I just need my magnets. And I'm going to speed up a little bit now, I think. Got the basics down. One magnet and two. And then I'm going to stamp the main image, which is this beautiful Lavinia stamp sunflower. It's called Open Sunflower. You need to stamp it twice. I've stamped the head on some white cardstock and I've cut it out. That's boring, isn't it? Cutting out. Well, it is for me. Some people enjoy it. Oh, yeah, I know. So it takes all sorts. And so I cut that out. Actually, I say it myself. I think I've made a good job of that too. And this sunflower from Lavinia, as you can see, is cut. Because I made another card when I first got this stamp and the stem was in the way. So I cut it off. But it's still fine. It's still fine. I mean, look at the card. You'd never notice that that stamp was cut in two. Yeah? Because it all fits together really well. So I'm going to pop the head is really clean too. The head of the sunflower is going just down a little bit from the top of the card. Going through the circles, mainly the yellow one. And then this one fits in there. And any gaps, I will just fill in with crayon. And you'll never know. If you don't tell people, I won't tell either, all right? Right, let's go for it. I did say to Tracy Dutton once when I saw her at a show, I said, I'm sorry, Tracy, I cut your stamps up. She said, don't worry about it, Eileen, so do I. There you go. I've used VersaFine Clair Nocturne for stamping. I've got a pressure tool. This is my speedball brayer that I use for gel press work. Oh, it's a gorgeous flower, isn't it? See, you'd never know that was split in two. Look, I promised. I'm very careful with the scissors. It really doesn't need another impression, but I'm going to give it one anyway. Yep, and that's gorgeous. It's just darkened it down just a bit. Although it really, you're not going to see the head, are you? You can leave it like that if you want. In fact, I'm tempted to. I think that is really nice. But I've made my sunflower white, so I'm going to use the cutout bit. So that comes off. Wiping fingers. Bit more stamping to do, not much. And that is the word art. And this is from a set called Inspire Me. It's LAV 519, LAV 519, and it's called Inspire Me. And there's all sorts of different words. Look, what have you got? You've got dream, inspire, art, love. Dream, inspire, art, love. And I'm using art. And I'm just going to pop it in there. Like so. Can move over just a snatch, I think. Yeah, I think that's okay. And again, Versifying Claire, Nocturne. Ooh, you came up. I'm not going to risk that again. My card is lifting. So I'm happy with that. So I've got the word art in. If I want to darken it down, I use a black crayon just to go over it. But I think that it's fine. Okay, so we're getting there. Now I'm going to put in a few lines just to make it a little bit more abstracty. So turning the card on its side, and I've got my T-square. And a black pigment ink pen. Where have you gone? Black pigment ink pen. Okay. Let me see if this one works okay. Yeah. Now this is Letter It Fine Liner 09. They do all different sizes of the nib. I would have preferred one that was like a 05 or a 1, but I'm not going to keep rattling around in my bag looking for it. So I'm going to go with 09, and hopefully it won't be too thick, this nib. So popping that closer to me, just check that I've got in shot, maybe over a little bit more. Okay. So making the top of the card, my T-square is gripping the top of the card, and I'm just coming down underneath the moon or sun or whatever it is you want to call it, and just down the card a little. Actually, it can go down a bit more. No, I'm not going to risk it. So now at the bottom, again, of the card, pop that on, out, and then 1. And then I'm going to put some lines in. So it went straight across. It went to there, and then it went out to there. Okay, yeah, that's good. A little bit thicker than the original, but I'll get away with that, I think. And then to add a bit of interest, 1, 2. And 1 more, I think, there, up the top. Yep. Now that line at the bottom is annoying me because it isn't the same width as the other. That's better. A little bit of decoration at the end. I think this one is neater. Look, the lines are narrower and it's neater, I believe. That's not bad, and I'm not redoing the card. So sorry about that, because I don't like those there at the end now. Might have to emphasise them. No, I'm not going to get wound up about it. They are a little bit too thick for my liking, so be careful when you're doing those. Okay. Right. We're getting on now. Gold pen. This is a hybrid dual metallic K110, hybrid dual metallic K110. I'm going to pop on the moon masks again, or rather the circles. So just give them a quick wipe to get any stray ink away from your plastic mask. And down we go. And then I'm just going to go up and down. I'm not going right the way round, sort of just over a semicircle there, just to bring it out. And then the one underneath, it doesn't matter if you go into the sunflower because we're going to cover that up. So that one will go right the way, again semicircle, not right the way round. Just to emphasise that, that's good. And then very quickly as well, I did some of this stenciling. With the gold, as you can see. I didn't go over every single shape, but I just put in some gold where I thought it could do with a lift. Like so. In fact, there's more stenciling in the original, but I do like this one as well. We're getting there. Flower is next, and all I did was to take some double-sided tape, very technical, double-sided tape, plonk it on the back of the flower, and then stuck it onto the flower, tried to find the top of it. So I think that was about it, but it doesn't really matter, who's going to know? You can still see some of the petals underneath, so that's that. And then there's a little bit of work with a Posca paint pen in white. I had more of the stencil on the art. I'll bring the other card up in a minute and you can have a look. Maybe, yeah, maybe the other card has got a little bit more detail in it. But I think my mistake was where I laid the stencil down and I haven't given you enough patterning. But your choice, okay? I think that you'll forgive me that. Where's my ruler? There it is. Gentle taps. Now I'm getting a little bit more violent. But I don't want to overdo it. That'll do. Okay. Right, my friends, I think that I'm done with this. I can't see that there's anything else to do. Oh, she says, and then spots what's missing. Enamel accents, yes. Enamel accents on the side of this. Now, the enamel accents are white, but on my card that I've completed, they've gone a bit yellow, and that's because the enamel accents has interacted with the orange of the russet orange in the elements, and it's picked up some of the colour, but I don't dislike that. So starting off with the flow, and then I'll put on a few of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Let's see how many I've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Leave it at 7. And any more anywhere else? No, there isn't. But I don't like these blobs. I'm wondering if this will enhance it or it's a terrible mistake. Oh, that's not bad, actually. So if you do 3, you've got to do all of them. that's not bad at all. Sort of taken that thick black blob out of my eye. Right, I'm going to just show you the original card. So this is the one that I've just created. I've given you the technique, but maybe this one is slightly better because the background has got more stencil in it and it's emphasised. Or some of you might prefer this one. Whatever. It's a lovely, easy technique to do. I'm hoping that you'll enjoy it. And the idea is for you to have fun and let me know how you get on. Okay, right. Thanks very much for watching. I'll upload this video and I'll be back soon with another one. Bye for now.